presentation. We're excited to present Mike Stagg and his presentation on being fit for work. Mike, pretty important subject right now. You feeling fit for work this morning?
I'm feeling good for work this morning. Yeah.
Good.
Hopefully we all are. Hopefully we're all feeling good, so we don't wake up and look at this, right? That's what we're trying to avoid here is that you're at work, you're doing something, and you wake up, and all of a sudden you're looking up at these people. You have EMTs standing around you. You have a bloody gauze pad. People thinking, what happened to you? And that's what we're going to try and avoid here with being fit for work and fit for duty. What does fit for duty mean? To me, being fit for duty is like a house, right? The fit for duty, I mean, that's your roof, right? That's the very top of your house. But you've got these things that are underlying. You've got the pillars that hold you up, right? That means you're physically ready to go. You're psychologically ready to go, and you're physiologically ready to go. So all of these things play into it. But the bedrock, the very foundation, is communication, right? Being able to communicate with yourself, being able to communicate with the supervisor and with coworkers to determine whether we have these pillars in place that then make us fit for whatever we're going to do. So if you're not fit for duty, what can that affect? Can that affect you? Absolutely. Right? If you're doing a task and you're not fit or ready to work, then that's going to affect your productivity. It's going to affect how you are able to effectively perform your job duties. Can it affect coworkers? Absolutely. Let's take into account maybe we're a streets crew. We've been called out to a water main break, and so we've got to use a big gigantic demo saw. And I'm using the demo saw, but I'm not ready to work. I'm not fit. I'm not psychologically, or there's something going on with me, and I'm not ready to go. What could happen? If I am not fit and ready, could that potentially put my coworker in danger? Absolutely. Can it affect the property that we're working on or working with? For sure. If I'm not fit for work and I come in and I've had a bad day one day, I'm working on as an office worker, I'm working on a spreadsheet of some sort, and a formula doesn't quite work out, and I'm having already a bad day, and I'm not in a good mental state to be fit for work. A formula doesn't go right, and I get frustrated and upset and throw the monitor across the room. Does that affect property? Absolutely, it does. So there are many things that not being fit for work can negatively affect. And so let's talk about what we can do to be actually ready and ready to go and ready to work. So the first thing is our physical health. Nutrition is a huge thing, right? Eating healthy foods and eating a good balanced diet. Many of us, we don't eat breakfast in the morning, right? I'm one of those who has a hard time eating breakfast in the morning. There's just so many things to do in the morning, right? You want to sleep in a little bit longer, and then you wake up and you have to help. Like I have to help my wife get our kids ready to get off to school, but then I've got to get myself ready. I've got to do all these other things. I've got to prepare and make sure I'm ready for a presentation. So I've got all these different things to do, and sometimes I just forget to have breakfast in the morning. And so what does that do? That doesn't put me off on the right foot, especially if I've got something really taxing, really physically demanding that I've got to go and do that day. So make sure that we start our day off with good nutrition and a good healthy breakfast. Even if we miss breakfast, then what do? We are looking forward to lunch, because man, lunch is a time we get a break from work. We get to kind of do what we want to do for a little bit, and take our lunch break. But take into consideration what you're actually having for lunch. If you think, I'm going to go out to lunch and I'm going to have this a big gigantic meal because I'm hungry, I didn't eat breakfast, and I need some fuel to get me through the rest of the day. But now you're sitting there after you've eaten your lunch, and now you've got this gigantic meal just sitting in your stomach, and oh man, you need a nap. So now, are you ready? Are you ready to work? Right? We're not fit. We're not ready anymore. So remember that. Take into account what you're actually going to have for lunch, because it definitely catapults you through the rest of the day. I'm also here to tell you that this thing right here, a water bottle, hydration and staying hydrated, is a key component of making sure that we're physically ready to go. A lot of us in the morning, we drink other things. We drink coffee, or we drink hot chocolate, or throughout the day we drink soda or soft drinks or monsters or rock stars or whatever, energy drinks, right? We do that to kind of keep us alert sometimes. But I'm here to tell you, the water is our best friend, right? Stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water, especially now during the winter time. A lot of us, we don't think about that. We're not in the summertime. We think about that a lot. We drink a lot because we're outside, we're sweating, we're working hard, we're doing other things. And we might not necessarily take into account that we need to drink water at least as much, if not more, in the wintertime than we do in the summer, because in the summer, we don't think about it. Here in the wintertime, we need to think more about drinking. So make sure we're drinking and staying hydrated. Physical fitness plays a big role in our physical health, obviously, and getting ready and making sure that our body is ready and able to go through the physical things we're about to put it through when we go to work. And make sure you're free from illness and discomfort. I know that's way easier said than done, especially this time of year. My wife works in the medical field, and she comes home every time after she goes to work and tells me all about the myriad of diseases they're seeing, the flus, the COVIDs, the viruses, the bacteria that are all out there. And it's all happening. I mean, RSV, if you've got kids, you've probably been sick already, or you're currently sick or something like that. But make sure you're free from illness when you're going into work. Can you imagine, again, taking the demo cutoff saw example? I'm working with this big demo cutoff saw, and all of a sudden I have a huge coughing fit right in the middle of me using this demo saw. Is that safe for me or my coworkers or the property around me? No, it's not. So take into account our physical health. Let's be sure that we're free from illness and discomfort. And just take care of yourself. Take care of yourself and your body. Because the physical demands of our job, we've got to know what they are. We've got to know what the physical demands are, and are we able to meet those physical demands and those requirements? I find as I get older, right, I've got to pay attention to the physical demands of the job. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm almost 40. And so when I think about that, it's like, I gotta think about exactly what I'm going to do, because the physical demands are so much more. I can't just jump into something like I could 20 years ago. And that's got to be forefront in my mind, even as an office worker, as a desk worker. Know your physical demands. Are you going to be typing, standing, sitting, looking at a computer screen all day? What are you going to do? Are those physically taxing on you? And if they are you able to meet those demands? And it shouldn't be above us to require assistance and ask for help, right? If we need help with something, ask for it, right? Remember that communication is the bedrock of what we want to build on to make sure that we're fit for work. So if it requires assistance, if we have to ask for help, do that. Ask for help and get assistance if we need it. Mental distractions are also a huge part, right? That's another pillar for us. Those are those psychological factors. Is your focus, is it away from work? Do you come to work, and when you come, are you worrying about something else that doesn't have to do with the task at hand? Are you worried about, what am I going to have for lunch today? Or, man, I've got to take my car into the shop this afternoon. Or my kid's got a baseball game. How am I going to make it on time? I hope he does okay. I hope she catches the fly ball that is hit to her. Those kind of things. What are we thinking about? And where is our focus as we're here at work? Our inability to focus and think clearly can play a huge factor in if we're fit for work. If we're not able to focus and really pay attention to what we're doing, right, that'll put us in danger. That'll put us in danger not only mentally, right? If we're not mentally ready, that'll put us in huge danger, but it can also put us into danger physically. Stress is a big, big thing, right? We all have stress, whether that's from home or whether that's from work or personal things in our life, from our kids, from our husbands, wives, partners, whatever it is, there's stressors. There are things that we can do in order to help relieve stress. We had a great presentation here at the Trust. We had PEHP, our health insurance folks, come and chat with us about stress management. They gave us some yoga exercises to do. And it was really, really cool to get their take on some stress and stress management. So take a look at that. And we'll talk about some things that we can do in order to help us focus better. because like I said earlier, emotional distractions, those are things that can definitely play into it. Family and social life. We could come to work, we can be feeling any myriad of emotions, from happy to sad to excited to apathetic to angry to I just don't want to be here, right? And those variability of emotions can play into if we are fit for work, right? If we come to work and we're just angry and we don't want to be here, is that going to make a difference in how we approach the day? It absolutely is going to. Okay, so let's think about what we can do. One of the things we can do is focus, right? Focusing on the task at hand, right? Simple things, just like turning off the radio, right? When you come to a job site, just turning off the radio helps you to focus. Having a full tank of gas in the morning, right? That helps you to focus, because then you just get in your car and you go to your job site, or you go to your place of work, and you think, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about getting there, because I'm going to make it, because I have a full tank of gas. Okay. Planning your day is going to help you to focus. Planning out what we're going to do at each portion of this day is going to help you focus on the tasks at hand. If you're just trying to fly by the seat of your pants, it's not going to work out so well for you. So plan your day and focus exactly what you want your day to look like. Visualizing how you want your day to move forward is a great way to focus. It's a great way to curb your emotions and make sure that you're in a correct state of mind to begin your day. One of the best things we can do to help focus is to arrive early, right? Arrive early to the job site, arrive early to work. Sure, you all have heard the saying before: if you arrive 15 minutes early, now you're on time. If you arrive on time, you're 15 minutes late. Okay, so make sure you arrive early. What does that allow you to do when you come early? It allows you to focus. It allows you to clear your mind and get ready for what you're going to do. Let's say we're on a job site. Let's say I'm driving in my truck and I'm 15 minutes early to that job site. I pull into the job site and I just have 15 minutes to relax, focus, take a deep breath, and make sure that now I'm ready to move forward with the job that I'm going to do. I'm sure we've done this before. You're getting ready for a presentation. You're getting ready for a big project. You're getting ready to put pen to paper on your annual review. What do? Take a deep breath, you focus, you clear your mind, and you make sure that you're ready to do what you're there to do. One of the things with focus that this helps you to do when you arrive early is to kind of get your mind in a state of, why am I here? Right? Why am I in this position? Why did I pull into the parking lot today? Why did I come into my office today? Why did I get in my work truck today and drive to the site of this water main break? Am I doing it because the boss told me to? Maybe. Or am I doing it because the boss told me to, and it's the right thing to do, and I'm doing it so I can make money for my family, or for my wife, or for my husband, or partner, or kids, or grandparents, or friend, or myself, so I can go on vacation, so I can have a roof over my head, so I can have food on the table? Why am I doing this? Arriving early and focusing gives you the chance to clear your mind and think, why am I here in this moment at this time? Okay, brings it all full circle and brings it back. Now let's take it on the flip side. I arrived 5 minutes late to my job site. What am I doing? I'm hustling. I'm running in. I'm hoping, I hope no one sees me. I hope no one saw me come 5 minutes late. Do I have a chance to get things ready? To make sure my technology works? To make sure my computer doesn't crash on me or Zoom crash on me in the middle of a presentation? Am I prepared and able to focus in that time? I'm not, because now I'm stressing out. Now I've got these other physiological factors working on me that makes me not fit and able to do the job that I was here to do. So make sure that you're prepared, right? Prepare and plan your job and plan your day so you can arrive early, so you can think it through and get warmed up. Make sure you have all of your equipment ready, your tools, your different equipment that you might need, and especially your personal protective equipment. Make sure if the job requires PPE, that you've got it ready and you're ready to work. Get oxygenated means to breathe, right? Don't forget to breathe. Take a deep breath and get ready to go. Make sure you get warmed up for your job, because if you're not warmed up and you're not ready to work, we see injuries happen. So here at the Trust, when we look at workers' compensation injuries, a lot of times they come into either a lack of fitness or a lack of preparedness to work. You're just not ready. You're just not ready to work and do what you need to do. Or you have a lack of fitness. You're not ready for your body isn't ready for the work you're about to put it through. Because there's different stages of injury, right? We get the first stage of injury is fatigue, where we just start to get tired. And then discomfort sets in, starts to not feel good, and then it becomes painful. We can't move very well. And we lose strength, we lose grip, we lose flexibility. And then we get disability, where we're not able to work and do what we're supposed to be able to do. So think of things like strains happen because of lifting, twisting, bending, pushing, pulling. Those kinds of injuries or those kinds of activities contribute to strains. And why is that? Because maybe we're working throughout the day, we're getting tired, we're not listening to our body, we're not drinking enough water, we didn't get ready, we didn't get our bodies ready to work, and now we move through these stages of injury. I played a lot of pickleball this weekend, and I felt really good. I felt really good playing. But as we got farther along, like I played, 3 straight days of pickleball, probably 3 hours a day. And as I got through on Saturday night, I was really starting to feel it. Starting to feel tired, and my legs were starting to feel uncomfortable. I was starting to lose strength. My shots were going all over the place. And my body was just getting tired. And I thought, it's fine. I could push through. I'll be okay. Started to push through. And then I started to feel the pain in my hamstrings. Started to feel it that, I'm not moving as well. I'm now having reduced movability and flexibility. And so finally started to listen to my body and stop playing. I got up yesterday morning and I could not walk. I had that disability because I pushed my body too far, that I wasn't listening to it. I wasn't drinking enough water. I wasn't making sure that my body was ready and listening to my body to make sure that I wasn't going to get hurt and injured. One of the biggest things we can do to avoid these types of injuries, right? These fatigue injuries, these really easy injuries to avoid, is stretching and warming up. Let your body know what's coming. We've been sitting in our car in traffic all morning, and then we get to our job site and we're expected to perform immediately. If we don't get out and we let our body know what's coming, we've been sitting in a stationary position all day long or all morning long. We've been laying down, sleeping all night. We get up, we get ready, all frantic, get in our truck and drive to our work site. Now we're 5 minutes late. We don't have time to warm up. What's going to happen? Cold muscles plus work equals injury 100% of the time. Let's make sure that we get warmed up and open up and let our body breathe. Things as simple as just arm stretches, arms across, arms behind, arm circles, standing up and stretching out our core, opening up your body, letting your chest open up and breathe. Okay. Lots of those really silly strains, small strains and sprains of muscles and joints and tendons and things like that can be avoided by stretching and warming up. Take 5 minutes. Take the 5 minutes and do that. Now you can see why arriving early is so important, right? If we arrive 15 minutes early, we now have time to focus. We have time to stretch. We have time to warm up before we go and start lifting manholes, before we start pulling trees out of the ground. Okay. Make sure we have a program in place where we stretch and warm up so our body knows what's coming. One of the biggest things we have to do is recognize the injuries. Recognize and see if we are ready to work. Ask yourself the questions. Am I ready to work today? Am I fit? Am I mentally in a state of mind where I can do this job that's going to be required of me? It's okay to have that conversation within yourself to say, am I ready for this? Am I going to overdo it? Okay, don't overdo it. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be honest with yourself and with your supervisors and say, I'm not feeling it today. I'm not feeling like I can do this. I'm not in a mental state that I should be going down into this confined space. into this manhole, into this water vault today. I'm not ready for that. It's okay to have that conversation. So recognize that you might not be ready to work. What I'd like you to think about is just 3 life-saving rules to make sure that you're fit for duty. Things that are going to help you stay safe. Okay, so these are just commitments that I encourage you to look at. Say that I will be physically and mentally in a state to perform my assigned duties. I commit to not being under the influence of alcohol or drugs while I'm working. And I will inform a supervisor immediately if I or a coworker may be unfit for work. So these 3 rules, these 3 commitments are things that are going to make sure that we're safe and we're fit for duty, physically and mentally in a state to perform your duties, not under the influence of drugs or alcohol when you're coming to work, and immediately communicating with the supervisor if you or a coworker may be unfit for work, because it's ultimately our responsibility to make sure that we're fit and we're ready to work. As an employee, it is our responsibility to report to work, to report on time, and to make sure that we're ready in a fit condition in order to work. And it's also our responsibility to notify somebody if we're not in that state of mind. Notify of any actual or potential impairment of our ability to perform the jobs that we're supposed to do. So that's our responsibilities, right? Your supervisor, or as a supervisor, it is your responsibility or their responsibility to make sure that they observe and recognize any kind of emergencies or hazardous situations that there may be present. Taking into account the working environment, making sure that the working environment is clear from dangers, putting us as employees in positions so we can be successful and safe. So they have their obligation is to make sure that we have a safe work environment. Part of the employer's obligation is to also make sure and take reasonable considerations to make sure that all individuals on site are in a fit place to work. A lot of those things are internalized though, right? A lot of those feelings of being safe and fit and able to work are internalized. So that's why it's so important that we communicate. So if we notice that within ourselves that we're an unfit person or we're not feeling well enough to do the job, or we notice a coworker, or we notice somebody else that they're possibly unfit, okay, make sure you notify someone. Notify your supervisor, let them know. Then the supervisor's responsibility is to make the inquiry and the confirmation from that person to see, are you really unfit? How are you feeling today? And then in accordance with whatever your company policies are, is that person fit for work? Are they good to go? Can we put them and return them to work? Or should we find something else for them to do today? Maybe that person shouldn't be on the demo saw today. Maybe this person shouldn't be going down into the trench today. Maybe they should be your rescue team. Okay. Some kind of a modified duty because they're not fit or ready to do the taxing work mentally, physically, psychologically that you need them to do. Or should this person just not be here? Are they a danger to themselves or to others or to property because they're in a state where they're not fit and ready to work? That's something a supervisor has to take into determination. So when should we take action? Right? When we notice these things about ourselves or maybe others or coworkers, a deterioration in appearance, difficulty staying awake, they're not able to do the work they're supposed to do, forgetfulness and judgment errors, inability, irritability, inappropriate behaviors. Okay, those things are warning signs, big red warning flashing saying, hey, this person isn't ready. This person's not ready to go to work. Let's make that call and make sure that we get them in a place ready to work. So really what we'd like you to do is just today, make that commitment. Make that commitment that you'll be fit and ready for duty, psychologically, physically, mentally, that you're ready to go, that you're ready to work. And that you take responsibility for the health and safety of not only yourself, but for others. It's your responsibility. Ultimately, we can only decide that, right? We have to be responsible for our own safety and making sure that we're fit and ready to go to work. But we also have to take responsibility for our coworkers, right? Let's help them. Let's help our friends out, help our buddies out, and communicate with the supervisory team, communicate with your coworkers and make sure that everyone is fit and ready to go. Because as we do that, we build that good foundation that makes sure that we're fit and ready to work. Okay, so I know I went a couple of minutes longer, but my computer wasn't fit for duty.
We had some issues. You may not have noticed, but my Zoom crashed too as well. It popped up and said, sorry, closing.
Oh goodness.
And it
Yeah,
closed.
notice.
Hey folks, if you got any questions or comments, type those into the chat box right now, and we'll get Mike to answer those. It's stump the dummy time to see if he's got what it takes. So please give us your best shot on questions or comments there, and we'd be happy to answer those. Good stuff, Mike. It's so important it seems like we get busy with our lives.
Yeah.
And it's doing what we're doing, and we don't take time to take care of ourselves and make sure that we're really ready to do those things. So good stuff. Well, I'm seeing no chats coming in. You better hurry and click. It might be me thinking about my next presentation in less than a half hour, and we're not going to hang around for a long time on on that. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions or comments there. Final word.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just look at those three commitments that I mentioned earlier. That you'll be ready, physically, mentally, psychologically ready to work and perform your job duties. Don't be under the influence of drugs or alcohol, obviously. And then lastly, take your safety and the safety of your coworkers very seriously. Right? Communicate, talk to each other. That's what we're here for. Right? Talk to each other and have those communications with your supervisor. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, hey, I'm not feeling it today. It's okay to have those conversations. Just stay safe out there.